Hello, my YouTube patriots. This is Alex again with another Disabled Vet's Perspective. A few things going on in the news today. We've got, well, in the last couple days, we've got Lori Loughlin, who pleads guilty on the college scandal, buying her kids' education directly instead of indirectly, so to speak. I'm a little crooked. I almost fell over there. It'll be curious to see how this turns out, if there will be any significant prosecution. To me, it's going to be just like another one of these legalized racketeering programs that the government uses, where the best example is Planned Parenthood. The government gives them a whole heap of tax money from the American people, and then that tax money goes back to the Democrat candidates for their campaigns. Well, I could see her paying this little bit of a fine, and basically nothing else happens. Everything else, the college gets to keep that pile of money that she paid, and the people that she was bribing get to keep their money, and she pays a little fine for it, and everybody stays happy. So it's all, everything about money is a round robin effect. They all pay a little bit, keep a little bit, then pay a little fine, and everybody gets to keep their money and stay happy and healthy. It's the rule of high income, I guess. NXIVM, child trafficking. That group there, Allison Mack, has now pled guilty. That is a disgusting group of people, and their time will come. But again, it has to do with money, and who you have protecting you is the big thing. So we got to cross our fingers and hope that some of these big names start to fall, so that there's no big names to lean on and get help from when everything goes to crap. When they start falling, they won't be able to turn to that person with power and prestige to get them out of a bind, because that person will be in their own bind. So the other thing, YouTube, Google, right now, they were doing hearings in old Nadler's department over there, judicial oversight or whatever the hell he is. He's such a moron. That guy won't let Republicans have 1 second over time, but he always lets the Democrats just ramble on. Someday this stuff's got to stop. It's got to put an end to it. But while they're doing this YouTube hearing about censorship and hate speech and everything else that they put titles on so that they can restrict, while they are doing this hearing, they put a block on people's ability to leave comments under the hearing feed. So they're telling him in Congress, no, we don't censor or we don't stop speech, we just stop hate speech. And meanwhile, they're blocking all of the people from making comments on the YouTube feed pertaining to that hearing. So they didn't want any other complaints getting through, like the fact that they buffer the hell out of us conservatives so that the people watching the videos lose interest, or just frankly just get frustrated and they end up going away because you're not getting any information from the video. It's just a little circle spinning in the middle of the screen. You get 1 or 2 words and then 5 minutes of buffering or rendering. So they know what they were doing. They blocked any opportunity to complain about their way of doing things. But Candace Owen is there. Gotta love that girl. She's just tough as nails. She just needs a big old bear hug from every conservative when you get the chance. If it's appropriate, of course, you have to ask permission, and you would, I'm sure. But she's a great person. She's tough. I like her a lot. She has just basically sat there and destroyed the Congress, the committee, because while she's sitting here being berated by a panel member, he's calling her names. He's basically just making her out to be some evil thing, and as soon as he gets done, she basically informs the committee that that's a good example of hate speech. And you can hear a pin drop in the room, of course, but you can bet that as soon as they get an opportunity to retaliate, then they'll do something. But The other one that's there is Mort Klein. He's talking about the anti-Semitism and has just absolutely blew the hell out of the narrative that they try to use to protect Imam and the other ones. If I say too much, I'm just going to end up being rendered to death, and you guys won't hear me anyway. But anyway, he just destroyed them and proves the anti-Semitism and all the ignorance of the people on the panel. Although I don't know if it's ignorance as much as it is complacency or just a desire to keep the status quo and not allow anything to change because it affects the money too much. But the last thing I want to talk about real quick is they had a executive from Google, lady that was sitting there. They had another man sitting next to her, and I didn't get their names. I guess I didn't look deep enough. But what I've noticed is when Blasey Ford was doing her, oh, he did this to me and he did that to me, it's always the mousy, I'm a victim and I'm just a wee little girl and, you know, you should be really, really nice to me so you don't hurt my feelings. And then as soon as they get done with that, they get back to their office. I'm the boss. You all will do what I tell you or you'll get your ass out. They use the mousy voice when they're in front of a congressional hearing. It's a tactic. This woman says, oh, well, we got to just be real careful with the hate speech that gets on our platform because we don't want to offend anybody. Just listen to the crap. It just makes my skin crawl. I mean, in one hand, the women want to be equal. They want to be powerful. They want to have everything that men have. And I totally agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. But then it's almost like they use it like a little weapon because when they need to, they mouse down a little bit and go for the sympathy jerk. I'm just a wee little lady. And then other times they want to stand up there and slam their fist on the podium and talk about how we're equal and all this other crap. If they're going to be equal, they need to be equal. If they want to be submissive and victimized, then maybe they need to do that. But you just can't have it both ways. The acting has got to stop. The fake outrage and now I got to find my dog. The whole thing is just ridiculous. But anyway, I've got my project started for my Declaration of Independence, the Constitution. I'm going to start a series where I'm going to go over the amendments, and we're going to get that kicked off pretty soon. I'm getting my research together. I'm hoping that maybe this next week I'll be able to start doing that. But I won't let you guys forget what I look like. I'll probably be on here another couple of times just to rant a little bit, you know, kind of like today. But looking at next week to get started with the series on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. So there's going to be a lot to it. It'll be interesting. But it'll also help to maybe educate some of the people that just aren't aware of the rights that we're losing because they don't tell you about your rights. But anyway, that's what I got for now. Y'all stay in the fight.